Hello students, welcome to online tutorial of database management system. My name is Bhavna Singh. I am working as an assistant professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. In today's session we will discuss about the database management. So let's get started. Students, in the previous session we have discussed about what are data models, what are its various types, and in that session we have discussed about the record based data model. So now in today's session we will continue with the object based data models and various categories of object based data models, that is ER model and object oriented model, and at the end we will discuss all the advantages and disadvantages of each of the model in detail. So let's start with today's session. Now this is the entire hierarchy of data model in which we have two types of data models like record based data model and object based data model. Record based data model is further categorized into hierarchical model, network model and relational model, whereas the object based data model, it is categorized into object oriented data model and ER model, that is entity relationship model. So in the previous session we have discussed about the record based, and we have discussed already about the record based categories like hierarchical, network and relational. So now in today's session we will continue with this object oriented and ER model. So first of all, let us revise that what is a data model. So the data model, it defines the overall logical structure of the data that is stored inside the database and how the database is modeled. That means how the data is stored inside the database, how it is updated, or all these things like its structure, how the data are connected to each other, how they are processed, how they are stored inside the data, or how the data is represented inside the database. So all these things we get to know with the help of these data models. So basically data model is an organization of data inside the database. Now we have discussed about the record based data model, and in this session we will continue with object based data model. So the first topic is what is object based data models. In object based data models, the focus is on how data is represented. The data is divided into multiple entities, each of which have some defining characteristics. That means in case of these object based, the focus is on how the data is represented inside the database, and this object based data model, it models all the entities based on the real world models, and it also represents the how the data are represented in the real life, or how they are connected to each other with some relationships. So overall it is defining the real life characteristics of all these objects that exist in the real world. And therefore this object based data model, along with the mapping between the entities, that is the objects that exist in real world, it describes the state of each entity and the task that is performed by each of the entity. Now basically we have two categories of object based data model, that is the first one is ER model, that is entity relationship model, and the second one is object oriented model. Now in the coming slides we will discuss about each one of them in detail. Now first we will discuss about the ER model, that is the entity relationship model. ER model is a graphical representation of real world objects with their attributes and relationship. It makes the system easily understandable, and it represents all these entities, attributes and their relationship in the form of picture to make the developer understand the system better. That means this ER model, it is graphically defining all the data items and their relationships for that particular system. And in this ER diagram we use the concept of entities, which are the real world objects, and we use the attributes. Attributes means the properties that are possessed by these objects, and we have the relationship. Relationship means the link between various entities. Suppose we have an example of a school database. So in that database the student will be an entity, and what are the attributes of that particular student? Like the student's name, its ID, age, address, all these properties that are defining that entity, that means all these properties that are defining that particular student are considered as its attributes. So basically this ER model, it is representing the entire database graphically, and it is showing us that how each data is connected to each other and what are the various relationship among these data. When we draw an ER diagram, these are the various elements that we consider. That is, first one is the entities. Entities means the objects that exist in real world. For example, a chair, a car, a student, or any person or anything. All these are considered as entities. Then the second, we have the attributes. Attributes are the properties that are possessed by these objects. For example, if we consider an example of a car, then in that case the color of the car number, the car name, all these are the attributes. That means these attributes are defining that particular entity. Then third, we have the relationship. Relationship means that how these entities are connected to each other. That means it shows the link between various entities. In the coming slides, we will discuss each one of them or each of the elements in detail also. Now this is an example of our ER model. As you can see that we have represented the entire database in the form of graphs only, and we have used various shapes like rectangle, oval, and we have used diamond shape. So all these are the graphical representation of the data that is stored inside the database. In this you can see that student, class, subject and lecturer, all these are the entities, and the student name, address, class ID, student ID, these are the attributes. That means these are the properties that are defining that particular student. And similar is the case with the class. In case of class, class is an entity, and class ID, description, all these are the attributes that are defining the class. Now between the student and the class there is a relationship that is represented as a diamond box, that is attends. That means this relationship, it is showing the link between student and class. So we can refer to it as this student attends class. That means the relationship, it is representing the link between both of the entities like student and class. So this is how we make a ER model, or how we represent the data that is stored inside the database in the form of the ER model. And with the uses of these elements like entities, attributes and relationship, we create the ER model. This is an example of a school ER model, or you can say a college ER model. So like this you can create a ER model for any system, like you can create for library management system, you can create for online shopping system, you can create for online banking system. All these things you can create with the help of the ER model using these entities. Now these are the symbols that we use while drawing an ER diagram. First one is the entity, or you can say a strong entity. It is represented by a rectangular shape, and this is the name of the entity. Then second one, we have the weak entity types, which is represented by the double rectangular boxes. Then we have the attribute. These are represented by the ellipse. Then we have multi-valued attributes. These are represented as double ellipse. Then this diamond shape, it represents the relationship, that is what is the connection between two entities. And the double diamond shape, it represents the weak relationship. So all these things, all these symbols we use to create an ER diagram whenever we create the graphical representation of the logical structure of a particular database. Now we will discuss the elements of the ER diagram in detail. First one, let us understand what is an entity. An entity can be a real world object that can be easily identifiable. For example, in a school database, students, teachers, class and courses offered, these are all considered as entities, and these entities we represent it with the means of rectangles. Rectangles are named with the entity set they represent. That means all the student, teacher, projects or all the real world objects that are present in the real world, these are known as the entities, and we represent these entities with the help of rectangle. As we have discussed in the previous example also, that all these entities were represented as the rectangular box only. Now the next element is the attributes. Entities are represented by means of their properties called attributes. All attributes have values. For example, a student entity may have name, class and age as attributes. As we have discussed earlier also, that attributes are the properties that define the particular object. Like for example, if we have a student entity, then in that case student's name or student's class or student's age, all these are the properties with the help of which we are able to recognize that particular student. So as you can see in this figure also, that student is an entity which is represented as a rectangular box. Entity is a real world object, and all these attributes like roll number, gender, date of birth, age, all these are the attributes. That means they are defining that particular student, and attributes are represented as means of ellipse. Now the next element is the relationship. The association among entities is called a relationship, and these relationships are represented by diamond shaped names. For example, the entities like student and course, how they are connected to each other or how they are linked to each other, it is represented by the relationship. So relationship is basically connecting two or more entities, or it is showing the link between two or more entities. For example, in this figure also you can see that student and course, they are connected to each other with the help of this relationship called enrolled in. This shows that this particular student is enrolled for a particular course. So how this is how the relationship, it shows the link between both the entities. Now we will discuss about the advantages of this ER diagram. The first one is it makes the requirement simple and easily understandable by representing simple diagrams. That means it gives a simple graphical representation, or the you can say the diagrammatical representation of various entities, their attributes and relationship among these entities, which helps the database designers to clearly understand of the data structure, and it also helps in minimizing the redundancy. Then the second we have, one can convert ER diagrams into record based data model easily. That means these ER models can be easily converted into another data models like hierarchical data model or network data model or relational data model. Because if we know all the entities or all the attributes and relationship, then it will become easier for us to make that data into the database, and we will be able to establish the relationship also by considering the various primary keys or foreign keys. Then the next way is, this model is used widely by the database designers for communicating their ideas. That means it is an effective communication tool for all the database designers. Now, along with many advantages, this ER model has many disadvantages also. Like first one is, no standard notations are available for ER diagram. There is a great flexibility in the notation. That means the notations, or you can say the symbols that we have discussed, like for entities, for attributes or relationship. So there is a no standard notations are available. Various database designers, they can use different symbols also sometimes, and it is not a standard notation that they have to follow or they have to use. Then the second one is, it is meant for high level designs only, and we cannot simplify it for low level design like coding. As in the case of coding, we can show the internal representation of functions also, or internal working of the functions also, but in case of ER model it is not possible. Now we will discuss about the second type of object based data model, that is the object oriented data model. This data model is another method of representing real world objects. It is the data model in which data is stored in the form of objects, which are the instances of class. And in this model, both the data and relationship, they are present as a single structure known as object, and two or more objects, they are connected through links. That means in case of this object oriented, all the data items, they are present, or all the real world objects, they are present in the form of objects, and all these objects, they have multiple relationships among them. So it is representing the real world situations in the form of objects. As we have discussed the elements of ER model as entities, attributes and relationship, so similar is the case with the object oriented model. And in the object oriented model, we have various elements like object. Object is a real world entity and it has properties, that is state and methods. For example, a student, it has states or properties such as a name or date of birth or address. So these are the properties that are possessed by the student. Similarly, the student has some behaviors or methods, including if he is attending class or writing exam or paying fees. So all these are the behavior. So in this case, the student, that is the real world thing, is a object, and it has various properties like date of birth, address, name, and it possesses various behavior like methods like attending classes, writing exams, paying fees, etc. So in this situation, object oriented, we depict or we represent the real world situation in the form of objects. And second element, we have the class. A class is a collection of objects. That means if we collect all together these objects, then they form a particular class. For example, let us consider an example like we have a fruit class, and in that fruit class, all the objects like apple, mango, grapes, all these are the objects. So all these objects collectively, they are forming a particular class. And in object based model, or you can say in object oriented model, we use the concept of these objects and classes. Now let us consider an example of object oriented model. In this figure you can see that we have two objects like employees and department. So these are the two objects that exist in the real world, and all the data and the relationship of these objects, they are contained in a single unit. As you can see that the attributes and their methods and along with the object, all these things, they are connected in a single unit. So in the employee, it has the attributes like name, job title, phone number, salary, department ID, and the methods are also given like get hired or change number. So all these object, their attributes and their relationship, they all are stored as a single unit. Now similarly, the second case, you can see that department is an object, and this department has attributes like department ID, department name, and the methods are change department. These are also contained in a single unit. So in this object oriented model, you can see that we have made objects and we have created the attributes, and these two objects, they are connected with the help of a common attribute. That as you can see that there is a relationship between employee and department, and this relationship is done between on the basis of the common field, that is which is used in both the table. So you can see that employee and department, they have a common field, that is department ID, on the basis of which relationship is created. So in object oriented model, we can say that we use the concept of objects and class, and if sometimes becomes possible to reuse those objects, so that we need not to write the again and again programming for that, or we need not to create the table again and again. So this is the main advantage of object oriented model, that it provides the possibility of inheritance. Now these are the advantages of object oriented model. Because of its inheritance property, we can reuse the attributes and functionalities, and therefore it reduces the cost of maintaining the same data multiple times. That means if it is possible that we can use the same attributes or same functionalities of one object, and we can use it in the second or similar object, then it reduces the cost of maintaining these same data multiple times. Then secondly, it becomes more flexible in case of any changes. That means it is possible that it becomes a scalable, or we can add as many objects or as many classes to this object, or as many tables to this database. Then codes are reused because of inheritance. Now because of this property of inheritance, we can use the code multiple times, or we can use the same code in multiple tables. Now comes the third type of data model, that is the physical model. It operates at lowest level of abstraction, describing the way data are saved on storage media such as disk or tapes. And these are software and hardware dependent. That means when we talk about the storage media, then this physical model comes. This physical model, it shows the entire structure, entire storage structure of the database, that how the data is internally stored inside the database. Is it stored in the form of bits or is it stored in the form of bytes? So all these things related to the storage, they are described at the physical model. Now it's time to discuss important questions based on today's session. The first one is, what is an ER diagram? Create an ER diagram for online shopping system. In this you have to explain ER diagram, its various elements, and you have to create an ER diagram for the online shopping system. In this session we have discussed about the ER diagram of school management system. So similarly you can use various entities or you can use various attributes and you can create the ER diagram for the online shopping system. Then the second question we have, what do you understand by object oriented data model? Explain its various components. So in that you have to explain what is class, what is object, and what are the various advantages and what are the object oriented data model used for. So students, it was all about today. We are ending our session here only. I hope you have understood the concept of data models well. So all of you, please take care of yourself and keep learning. Thank you so much for watching.